Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs Show. Happy Monday afternoon. Hope you're well, hope you're having a good day, and you look forward to a solid week, whatever it is that you're doing. If you've got the week at work, don't worry, it'll fly by. If you've got the week off, enjoy it to absolute maximum. We're talking around today, kind of a bit of a different one. We're talking Heung-min Son's contract situation and potentially an update as to where the talks are. We do also have an update surrounding Spurs trying to expand their financial fair play, or PSR, depending on who you are. Poet and didn't know it, and how that will benefit us in the future. And I do want to touch on this Sergio Reguilón drama because it happened last night through the Manchester United game. I'll talk about it in a second. I just want to say though, if you're new, subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. And let's talk Heung-min Son first. It came back from Reguilón, who said that Tottenham are in advanced talks to extend the contract of captain Heung-min Son. Hotspur directors, or Tottenham Hotspur directors, will not sell the 31-year-old South Korean despite interest from Saudi pro leagues. I don't think Son would go anyway to Saudi. So there's that. I also think it'd be really foolish to sell him. You can see that when Son is, I've always said, when Son's up and running and firing and he's going on all cylinders, we're normally following him in that regard, in terms of the rest of the team. He's so important for the team. He's so important for the club. He's so important for everything that we are trying to build at Spurs. We're trying to build maybe what we had through the early part of Poch, that really vibrant, that really togetherness that we're building. There's the fact that the squad like each other. I think what we saw under Conte and Mourinho and Nuno's, the squad didn't really get gel and get on with one another well enough to sustain a good push towards top four, a cup competition, whatever. When you look at Man City, they seem to love each other. Look at Liverpool, seem to love each other. Arsenal seem to love each other. And because of that, success is bred from that. What we're trying to build is the same sort of thing. Build the fact that you've got a group of guys who just really enjoy playing football one another, really enjoy being around one another. You see it, Basuma and Maddison and Porro and, all these things. And it breeds success. And I think that Son is such a massive part of that. You'd probably put it down to him being the linchpin of all these things. He's brought the fans back to the squad and brought the squad into the fans a little bit more. And there seems to be a real sort of family atmosphere. And I think that shows he's so important. And look, not just that, he's also absolutely smashing it. 13 goals this season in the league. Bear in mind, he's missed 2 months through international duty. We could be looking at a guy who's already scored 18 to 20 this season. That's not bad for a guy who's a left mid by trade. Eh? So yeah, happy to talk about that a little bit more in detail when it comes around, because hopefully that thing gets sorted soon. I want to talk about this financial fair play situation, and I think a lot of fans have misconstrued this, I'll read you what the article is. It's from Alistair Gold, and I want to just kind of bring everyone back down to earth. So if you are annoyed by it, I'm going to kind of change your tune on it. Just follow me, okay? So the article reads, Spurs are set to submit an application to nearly double the amount of major non-football events they can potentially hold at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium this year, with Tottenham chairman Daniel Levy's aim from the offset to utilise the stadium to the maximum when the team is not playing there in order to drive huge revenues into the football club. The big arena in N17 has become a go-to destination for London concerts in recent years, with Beyonce, Lady Gaga, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Guns N' Roses have all performed there, with Pink and Pearl Jam set to play inside the arena this summer. Spurs Ground also holds a minimum of 2 NFL games a year, part of the lucrative deal with the sports governing body until 2030, as well as World Championship boxing fights and rugby games, while also holding numerous conference and events. There's also the fact that you've got the underground karting and you've got all these things. A lot of people have gone, what about the squad? What about this? What about that? This is a really good thing. Now, you can dislike Daniel Levy. You could be Daniel Levy's biggest fan. You could be Enick in, you could be Enick out. Whatever it is that you're doing, this is massive. People will complain about this, but I think let's just pull it back. Let's lay the cards out on the table and then let's go from there. You're looking at Manchester United, financial fair play issues. Yeah, they've got a bigger stadium than us, but it's not up to date. It's falling apart. It's crippling. In theory, it's ruining them financial fair play wise. If they had a stadium like ours, Manchester United would be by far the biggest club in the world. Now, they're already one of the biggest, but imagine if they had an up-to-date stadium, they would be miles clear of the world. They could spend hundreds of millions of pounds every summer without any issues, without any care in the world. You look at Liverpool trying to expand their stadium, trying to get more revenue in. You look at Everton building a new stadium, trying to get more revenue. Luton trying to build a new stadium to get more revenue in. You've got to understand having a new and up-to-date stadium is humongous for your financial fair play. The fact that, yes, Beyonce's doing these things. The fact, yes, we've had Taylor Swift and all these other artists at the stadium bringing in loads of money only helps us in the long run to stay ahead of financial fair play, because that financial fair play, or PSR, really has big teeth. We're seeing clubs so scared of it. It's like the boogeyman. It's like the guy in your cupboard. You're thinking, is anyone underneath my bed as well? It's that. It's really scary for teams. And the fact Spurs are going to go, we already don't really have an issue with it, but we're just going to expand our, ability to not care about it. So when Spurs go, we'll have Gallagher, we want Eze, or, we want Neto. And it's like, yeah, cool. Doesn't affect us. The fact that Arsenal, even though have a big stadium, it's not up to date. They don't often hold as many events there anymore because it's not up to date. Spurs have taken that away from them. So all these things are massive when you think about the competition around you. It's massive. And the fact that Spurs are one of those teams earning so much money, it's only going to continue to expand and bring us into the upper echelons. Fair play to Daniel Levy. He's played the long game on financial fair play. It's crippled us at times through lack of ambition. But in the long run, it's going to start paying off. So this is good news. If you do think it's bad news, you're wrong. I'll tell you that now in a heartbeat. You're wrong. All right. And if you're annoyed by that, take it up somewhere else, because this is only a good thing in the long run to expand our financial fair play situation. I don't see what's bad about that. Yes, maybe you might sit there and go, he's not going to spend the money though. But it's not always about going, well, we've got £600 million worth of room now. Well, we need to spend £600 million. That's not how it's going to work. If you let's say if you bought Neto and he absolutely flopped, you are crippled by that deal. That's going to be a big chunk gone. And that's why a lot of teams are just going to try and step back from those 80, £100 million deals and come to the 40 million range. Because if someone doesn't really smash it 40 million, you might sell them 15 in a few years' time and, break even. You can't do that with 80 million or £100 million players, because if they're worth 50 in 2 years' time, you're making losses. See Chelsea. And that's the big thing you need to remember. See Chelsea. All right. I want to talk the Sergio Reguilón thing. So look, Sergio Reguilón last night put up a Instagram story through the Manchester derby. I'll show it on the screen now so you can have a look at it. And he's red circles and all these things. And at first I didn't see a massive issue with it, okay? Because I was like, well, look, Ivan Perisic used to do it for Inter Milan all the time. I don't really care about Inter Milan, fair enough. And then I thought about it and I was like, hang on. You don't do it for us, which, fair enough, you don't do it for us. I'm not going to sit there and be like, you're out on loan, but you should be watching every game that we do. You should be putting up things for us. Not at all. Not at all. Actually, we kind of discarded you a little bit. So you shouldn't need to do that. If you want to, that's your thing. Eric Lamela loves us. That's his thing to do. If he didn't do it, I would not look at Eric Lamela any less. By the way, happy birthday, Eric Lamela. Sorry. And I thought about it. I was like, you're there for 6 months. They didn't put a buy option into your deal because they weren't really too keen on you. They then discarded you 6 months later, even though Shaw's injured and Malacia's injured. You've got Lindelof at left back, or Dalot at left back, or Wan-Bissaka sometimes at left back. You'd have played yesterday if you were at Manchester United still, because they would need a left back. So you're virtually supporting a club that didn't actually want you. For 6 months. You only played there 6 months. It wasn't like you were there for 10 years and you've moved elsewhere. That's even if I was still in the Premier League and I was in a situation where, let's say Spurs sold me after 10 years and I've moved to Everton, and Spurs are playing in the North London derby and I put something up for it. I don't think Everton fans would care. I don't, because they go, look, he's been there for 10 years. It's his club. It's who he supports, or, fair enough. He still loves us. That's the important thing. He only cares about Everton when it comes to us playing. But Reguilón, 6 months, didn't play all that much anyway, discarded after 6 months because they didn't feel like they wanted you or needed you anymore, and you put a story up. That is a surefire way of getting you sold in the summer, mate, because that is what is happening. You will not play for Spurs again. He won't. And I don't really care, to be honest. People that wanted Reguilón to stay in January, I was like, no, not interested. I've seen what he can do. I'd much rather a 17-year-old in the academy come in and play for us instead, because I've seen what he can do. He gives you a glimpse of half an hour of 60 minutes of good football. You think, hello, we've got a player here. And then he can't defend a corner flag. He couldn't defend a statue if he tried. So yeah, I'm not interested. He's getting sold in the summer. Move on. He can put as many stories up about Manchester United as much as he likes, because I couldn't give a rat's ass. Simple as that. But anyway, guys, then if you hope you did enjoy it, drop a like on the video. If you did, hit me in the comment section your thoughts and videos about the Reguilón situation. Obviously, I'll put it on the story. I'll put it on the story so you can see what he put up. Obviously, the financial fair play expansion through the concerts being held at Spurs Stadium. Want to know your thoughts and feelings about that? Good, bad, ugly. I'm happy to try and change your mind if you do think it's a bit of a negative. I don't think it will be, but if you are one of the people that do think it, I'm happy to try and change your mind. Obviously, your thoughts and feelings about Sonny as well and his contract extension. Obviously, subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the notification for more. But anyway, guys, in the video, I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.